What's up? Shout out to all of the partners of the Red Bike Poetry, Red Bike Moment Poetry Workshop that we did a few weeks back. Sorry I can't be with y'all in vivo tonight. Definitely not in person, but still not live. But I wrote something from the workshop that I wanted to share. I wanted to thank all the partners that made it happen. The Together for Brothers and the New Mexico PBS, the Office of African American Affairs, the MLK Junior Commission. Thank you all, and to the Ali Center and all the work that they've done with making a curriculum and the educational and artistic opportunities out of this Red Bike moment. And of course, big thanks to the champ himself. He had to live it so we could write it. So we had fun in the workshop last week. We went through like a 3-step progression on how to write a poem about our own Red Bike moments. We started with kind of just gathering our thoughts and telling a story, and then we actually told it to a partner so we could get into that practice of storytelling. And then we went back to our story and tried to find that one juicy line that has a bit of anticipation that kind of leaves you hanging and wanting to ask more. I'd said something about that memes that are going around now, like that kind of have a crazy photo and then a caption that says something like, and that's when a fight broke out, or that's when we got kicked out of the club, or and that's when the person drove off from my drive-through window without their food, whatever it was, right? But then you're like, what happened? How did that happen? And so that makes the people want to really dig into your story. And when you find that one line or that kind of juicy tidbit that in and of itself should be very interesting language, then you're going to turn that one liner into the prompt for your subsequent poem, the poem you would write from that. So lots of pre-writing. We ran out of time. We could have did a lot more on what poetic devices you could employ to make your colorful story more colorful and using colorful language. We didn't get to all that. We spent more time with what that moment is and identifying that moment in our own lives. But I did this. I did the prompt. I don't ever ask any workshop participants to do anything I won't do myself. Shout out to my co-facilitator Xavier Thompson. We had so much fun putting it together and putting it on for y'all. But here's the poem that came from my story. If the poem is interesting, maybe one day I'll tell you the story that this idea emerged out of. It's even in the zine. Thanks, Baruch, for starting us off with like how to make a zine. And I actually turned my zine into a book with the poem that I wrote in the zine. So check that out. All right, now here's the poem. Before badass kid was a medical condition, they told me I was a handful and a half. I laughed. I thought it was funny. They thought it wasn't. So I spent half of my high school years farting back and forth between the principal's office and social studies class. It was starting to get ugly, but my mother was but a bathrobe and curlers away from coming down there, and nobody at that school wanted that. Even the principal was like, maybe the boy's not a total ass. Have your son take the gifted and talented exam. His body language laughed like, good luck with that. I wouldn't say that it's the best thing that could have happened, but instead of getting grounded, I somehow earned a few more elective classes. Don't know if I'd call it a win or even a break even, but at least my mom didn't put her foot in that thing that the principal unceremoniously called me last. Or maybe he said totally bad. And that's when I learned the difference between a hall pass and a pass class.